Hello, welcome everyone to Kahaaniyaan on Huetopia. As you can see, we've got some a wonderful show with a wonderful guest. Unfortunately, Bashir cannot make it, and uh, life happened as well with Kupo, so we will miss you very much, but hopefully we will see the both of them next week. Before we get into our player introductions, I just want to take a moment to discuss something super important. As you can see, the flag behind me, that right now there's a lot happening in the world, and Utopia strives to be a place where BIMPOC can create TRPG characters and stories and experiences that they want. And while we are in a place where we have access to a lot of resources and the privilege to do it, we unequivocally stand against what is happening in Palestine and the Israel genocide. So you will see during our stream, there's a timer where there is a thread filled with a lot of information and ways to take action to help free Palestine. So take a look at that. And with that, I am going to pass it now to our player introductions. Why don't we start with our guest?
Why?
Okay,
Hi,
don't. We'll...
let me complain and then actually do what I'm supposed to. Hi, my
Okay.
name is Nurdin Ali. My pronouns are he, him. You can catch me on the interwebs at werewolfeels on Twitter, Instagram, really just those two. I am a TTRPG writer, cultural consultant, etc., etc., etc. I'm also an organizer of Utopia, the channel on which I am now on, and I play the chosen, or the librarian, or the fire elemental. Apparently, he had a lot of secrets. It's weird.
Awesome. And I guess we'll just go clockwise. So Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her interchangeably. You can find me on all the socials at Serena Besos. I will be playing Nira, the divine, aka the demi-elemental, mermaid-ish humanoid. Details.
All right. Connie.
Fantastic. Hey, everybody. I'm back from a disappearance last time. I'm Connie, pronouns they, he, and she. And I will be playing Wu Ming, the professional, pronouns she, her. As you can see on the overlay, she is grouchy, she is muscular, she is butch, and she is on an adventure with her stag, Boog, which I'm very excited for us to get into today.
Yeah, and now it is time for that wonderful segment I'd like to call Player Recap. What is Player Recap? Well, I don't recap what happened last episode. I'd like the players to do it. Because, hey, one less thing I need to do. Also, it's a lot more fun to hear it from the players' POV. So, who would like to recap what happened last episode?
Sure. It's the guest again.
I can go. I was gonna go, and then you open your mouth, so I was like, okay.
I can go. I wasn't there, but I can go.
This is what happened last time. I was the one who went, despite the fact I was not the episode prior. Well, let's see. We decided to find Raj. So we went all the way to a little nightclub slash song place where we found the Candyman sitting and enjoying the auditions that were happening. Of course, turns out that he had maybe messed with the auditioners' minds, and also was not a very good person. Naturally, this devolved into a fight where Nira and Amin and Kahaaniyaan, great pronunciation, I'm tired, and Kahaaniyaan fought Raj by surrounding him and tossing everything up to and including fire at him, setting the entire place ablaze. This is the problem with sugar, it burns. In the aftermath, Nira demonstrated their mastery over water by dousing the place, thereby keeping it up, but also extremely damaged. And we all escaped into Amun's library, where we learned a lot about not only the plans of the ascendants,
The
and
Ascendants.
yeah, Raj and the Ascendants, but also we learned a lot about Amun and thus the elementals and their role in creating these siphoner objects. Amun, in fact, happens to wield one. As a fire elemental, he wields a siphon of fire, which is really scary. Uh, it ended, of course, in the death of Raj and the escape through the undertunnels of the library. Who knows where Kahaaniyaan, Nira, and Amun will go next, but wherever it is, they're probably bringing something scary with them. And in the background, an ancient evil awakens.
Of which we will find out at some point.
Did I cover everything?
I think, other than the fact, I think that you skipped that Amon killed Raj, but like, those are details. That's, whatever.
I mean, I killed Raj, you killed Raj,
I did
Kahaaniyaan
not
killed
kill Raj.
Well,
Really,
was
who
that
knows what
word basically turned into like ash just immediately?
Incinerated.
Incinerated. Yeah, that's the word.
Yes. Yeah.
With said siphon.
Well, here's the thing: when you're wielding a gigantic heat weapon of fire and you wrap it around someone, and then you siphon your own fire into said weapon, it superheats, and then eventually, things just ash happens.
Ash happens.
Ash does happen.
It does.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before we start, just a quick shout out. If you are admiring the wonderful character art that is done, it is done by a wonderful artist called Ashwarya, who's in India, and please follow her. The link is in chat. You can also use the command !KH art to get that info, and Twitter, and if you're watching this on YouTube at some point, the show description notes will have her Twitter as well. So please, if you love this art and want to commission her, please do. And with that, we are going to go back to basically the last scene of the last episode, pick it up from there, as you, Amun, and Nira and Kahaaniyaan are heading over to the place. You had a hunch where to go. Where do you think that hunch leads you to?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it leads us to a dried up stepwell.
Okay. And is there anything that... because I don't think you had too much time to essentially decompress as you were basically running out of the library. Is there anything you and Nira and Kahaaniyaan want to discuss? You notice, though, as you kind of turn around to catch your breath, Kahaaniyaan has disappeared, and there's a hastily scribbled note that says, "Oh, felt something. Be right back. Laters." And just, that's it. Just this scribbled. It's actually really hard to decipher because it's technically in the language you all can converse in, but it's like some ink just kind of just vomited onto it, sort of a thing.
So it's a Rorschach painting instead of actual words.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know how to feel about that.
What do you mean?
No, I meant
Oh.
me, the person feeling about the letter. It should be through here.
Oh, where are we going again?
It's a stepwell just outside of town. There's something drawing me there. I have concerns.
Lead the way.
So now we will actually go to Wu Ming about a couple of hours earlier when you were supposed to meet everyone at the morning and decided, and then something happened that made you not. What happened?
Well, I let's say I was on my way, but when I left my building that morning and looked around for my loyal steed, Boog was nowhere to be seen. My big, lovely stag, who I think in recent days had started growing a little bit more aggressive for some reason. I mean, he's always been aggressive, but this was more aggressive than usual. I figured maybe he was just upset about the quest that we'd gone on in the swamp. Perhaps rubbed his antlers the wrong way against a cypress tree or something. But looking around, Boog is not in the stables where I left him.
Yeah, and there seems to be... Actually, you know what? Give me an, investigate a mystery.
Ooh, is that sharp?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 6. And boxcars. +1, that is a 13.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so, you can hold 2, but, you can ask any question rather than, in addition to the listed ones.
Okay. Hold 2. I will... The question I will ask... First, I'll ask one from the list. Is that okay? And then can I spend the other one? Okay.
It's whatever form of... You get 2 of them. They don't have to be listed.
Sure. Where did Boog go?
Boog... so as you look, you notice that the top half of the stalls are just aggressively scratched, like antlers, like someone was just itchy and just was rubbing all over the stalls. You then notice also at that point that there's no extra footprints, so nobody took Boog away. It looks like Boog maybe tried to undie himself and basically trotted off in a particular, like, just ran free, and you can easily follow that path because Boog made no effort to conceal his tracks.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my other free question until I basically get to where Boog's tracks end. So Wu Ming, I think something in her gut twitches. She darts back inside, grabs her, let's see, it's been a while since I played her. She's got like a cool weapon. Grabs her composite recurve bow, strings it across her back, as well as her talwar, which is like a blade, and she sheaths it at her waist and follows the tracks.
So it takes you towards sort of out of the city and towards what feels like, you think there is closer to outside of the downtown area and where everything is, there's a lot of older ruins and temples and places that are mostly abandoned. And you follow the tracks for like a good hour or 2 before you see there's sort of like a dead stop, and the tracks just end abruptly. You do notice there are now more footprints, but they also end abruptly.
Interesting. Is there anything around?
At this point, you see that you are basically on the outskirts, and it is... there's not much beyond a road and some natural forest, and trees and bushes that are basically not cleared for any sort of civilization or farming or what have you. You're kind of on the middle, on a road with nature.
Do the tracks lead into nature, or do they just stop like
They
Boog
just
vanish
stop
out
in
of
the
thin air?
middle. Yeah, as if they either went up or just poof.
Okay, then my other question is, what took Boog?
Definitely something magic, for sure. Either it was teleport. These are the couple of things that run off your head because you're used to seeing it. Either teleportation, flying, or someone covered their tracks past that point.
Okay, are there any clues I can use here that will help bring me to where Boog is?
Yes. I think at this point, I would say to continue, maybe read a bad situation or investigate another mystery.
Okay, I'll read a bad situation. Why not? Let's mix it up. And while Booming looks around, she actually draws her bow and like nocks an arrow, but like doesn't like lift it yet. She like makes a clicking noise. Boog, Boogie boy, where you at? I got your favorite curdled cheese curds. That is a 4. That is a 5. That is a 9 plus 1, 10. I am
10.
rolling hot today.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you rolls so you can use some luck points, and it's just everyone's just rolling amazing. All right, so you get to hole 3, and again, same thing. You can ask any of the questions there, or you can ask me anything that is not on the list because you rolled over.
The first one.
What was your total roll?
10.
Oh, sorry, no.
So
that
not
was
a 12 plus.
Yeah, sorry, I miss. Yeah, so any 3.
Okay, I will ask, are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
Okay, so, the dangers, you see at the corner of your eye, just two little lamps just lighting. They look like probably belong to some big cat. So they're prowling around.
Eyes?
Yeah.
Eyes in the underbrush?
Yeah. You haven't quite, they haven't quite discovered you yet because you've been tracking, but yeah, if you decide to go explore, they might come say hello.
Understood. My second question is, what's the best way to protect the victims? By victims, I mean Boog.
You get the sense that there's definitely been some stag napping, and you need to find them soon. You need to see if there's any other clues that you can find here, and you'll need to start looking in the underbrush.
Okay, then in that case, I'll hold the third one and I'll turn, because it seems to be like I have to like rustle around the underbrush.
It seems to be that off in the distance from your vantage point, there is a deserted, abandoned, you're not sure, ruins, which looks to be some sort of a stepwell.
Okay, does it call to me? Something about it, like...
You think maybe it's worth investigating. Maybe Boog went down there, or maybe the captors are holding Boog there. You're not sure. But it's definitely a spot. It's like there's ruins next to where Boog disappeared. Doesn't hurt to check.
Exactly. Are the ruins... Do I have to get past the cat to get to the ruins, or is the cat on the other side of the street?
Yeah. The ruins is... The cat is between the ruins and you.
Okay. I carefully give the cat a wide berth. Has it noticed me yet as I start to move?
I'm
like skirting around slowly, like to the
All
left.
Right. One last roll, and then I think you will make your way to the stepwell. Act under pressure.
Yes. Okay, let's see. That is a 2. That is a 6. That is an 8 plus cool, which is a 3. That is an 11.
All right, you get to do what you want to do. So yeah,
which is to avoid the cat.
Yep. You notice the cat sniffs around a little bit as you are looking around, and eventually,
I think I kick a rock in like a different direction, or I pick up a pebble and I throw it, and it like lands in like some bushes like far away from where I am to distract it.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, you eventually make your way to the stepwell, and we're gonna quickly cut back. Aman and Nira, you make your way to the stepwell, and you redeemed a Tim Tim time. So we cut to you're not quite sure. You're not quite sure where. I'm just gonna consider it all one scene, okay? You cut to just, like how sometimes in camera, or like, when you're watching a show or something, it cuts to like a POV from the eyeballs. Everything is like 6 inches off the ground for you. Everything's gigantic.
Oh my god.
And just like waddling around, and you hear in the distance what could be Hades' voice, "Hey, Tim Tim, come back!" And then suddenly the camera's going super fast and everything's blurred through a well-lit store that has it looks like it has animal care supplies, and just runs into an area that looks like a whole bunch of like cat towers and dog bones, and just kind of just goes into some sort of a dark hole, and the camera cuts back to all of you.
We love our Tim Tim.
And some of the branding you can see in that store says the closet, where it's basically a CL instead of an O, it's a paw print, and then SED. Aman and Nira. So you reach the stepwell. Now, Aman, is this a stepwell you've been to before, or is this the first time you were here?
I think I've been here before, but a long time ago. Before we begin, though, would you argue that this is a new mystery?
Yeah.
Well, I have Destiny's Plaything, so at the beginning of a mystery roll, plus weird to see what is revealed about my immediate future. Ooh. That's a 10. On a 10 plus, the keeper will reveal a useful detail about the coming mystery. Keeper.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, before I reveal the useful thing, what did the stepwell look like to you, or what do you remember of the stepwell when you were last here?
It was in the middle of day, where I think right now it's actually nighttime. And it was much better cared for. Right now, it looks like parts of it are simply crumbling. I think one quarter of it is practically rubble, just cascading down the side. But in that day, it was painted fresh, and the walls were freshly covered. People were actively there. It was kind of like a gathering place for many people, and it was filled with water and filled with laughter. I think I remember children just playing everywhere you could see, and birds lightly perched atop of every surface, loudly chirping. And now it's empty and cold, almost like the life of it's been sucked out of what it used to be.
Yeah. And there's barely any water, whatever evidence of water there used to be. It seems to be in the dried husks of some local grasses that are just there right at the bottom. A little bit of dried moss when it was filled with water, and there was moss and a couple of other things that were on the edges. They're now mostly, if you touch it, it just crumbles to dust. But you notice over here that there seems to be some markings way below what would have been the water level that look newer over here. And as you investigate and touch it, you suddenly get, again, similar to a lot of the visions that over here people have been getting, just quick flashes of images. And you see these similar images in various other places, but they're filled with people in robes. They're filled, you can't see their faces. You see them standing over some sort of altar or a depression, depending on where they are. And you see things coming together, and initially it's just like different voices, and over time, as the images start to kind of show the same thing, it's almost like converging into one, but a plurality. I just got that right. Of voices chanting the same thing. It's the ritual. You just, in your bones, even though you don't quite understand the language, you know it's the ritual that is happening. Not right now. You're pretty sure this is not. This is somehow the future. A
Be very
possibility.
careful. Be very careful, Mira. Something terrible could happen here.
I think as like Amon's looking at, remembering what he saw and like seeing what's there, I think she's touching the water and there's just like a sadness to her, just seeing like this place that looks like it's supposed to be like a well of sorts, just being empty and decaying. And she just like sort of like rubs her fingers together and she's like, I figured as much. Which way are we going? Do you know?
I'm not sure. But I do know that we're not here to be here. We're here to wait for someone.
And as that happens, you hear the sound of a person kind of. How are you entering the stepwell, Wuming?
Cautiously. I approach it with my weapon still drawn, and I'm scanning all around for threats or for movement nearby.
Okay.
And I think Nira's gonna start like grabbing her staff out of the thin air, like, and pulling it out and like popping it out as she hears movement. And she looks over at Amon, like, just me, like, do you hear that? What do you want to do? Like, sort of like, look.
I reach into the leather satchel around my shoulder and just hold the chain.
Wuming, you hear possibly the sound of multiple creatures below. You're not sure if they're like, animal, like Boog, or like some like whoever napped, or nabbed Boog or whatever, but you do hear some activity close to the bottom of the well.
Okay, I'm still at like the top, right?
Yeah.
So I like don't see in. I pause as soon as I hear like a chain rustling or like some iron clinking against each other, I assume. And I draw my bow and I like draw a bead on like the lip of the well and I wait.
And I think while we're getting situated, I look at Amon and like I sort of like flick my wrist a bit, so like some water, whatever water's left down here, starts like pulling up and just floating next to us.
You've got like a couple of tablespoons.
Oh, cool. Enough to distract if anything.
Enough to like slick my hair back.
Enough to look like I spilled water on your shirt.
Just from the surface, the immediate quick. Like, I would say you need to use magic or use some big magic to draw possibly from the water table a little.
If we get there, we get there, but like...
I would like to investigate a mystery.
Sure.
Because this seems like a mystery, right?
Yep. You could also read a bad situation.
All right. So with sharp, that is a 10. Again, lucky me.
Mm-hmm. So are you investigating or reading?
I will investigate.
All right, see, you get to hold 2. And spend
What
a
sort of creature is it?
definitely a mortal, definitely alone, and familiar. Maybe it's who you're waiting for.
And about the stepwell itself, what is being concealed here?
Magic. Something old, something almost forgotten.
Mm-hmm. This place is very, very ancient.
Yep.
I raise my voice. Wu Ming, are you coming down here or not?
Christ.
I hit
Amon.
the wrong button, sorry. 1 second. I fixed it.
I was like, who is that? That's not Nira.
Nira's final form.
Oh my god.
You're a ton plush bat wearing a unicorn blanket hoodie.
Amazing, amazing. As soon as Wuming hears Amon's voice come up, she goes, "Ugh. Amon, you scared the living daylight out of me. Just, are you alone?
No, Nira's here.
Good,
Hello.
good. Hey, Nira. All right, good. Thank goodness it's the 2 of you. I lower the bow and like the creaking of the. What are bows made of?
Um,
Not catgut, right? That's violence.
it could be like it could definitely be made out of not necessarily cat gut. I mean,
Just
it
like
could
gut,
just
Sinew,
general gut,
sinew.
Jute
Okay.
fiber.
sinew. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those things. The creaking against the wood, like slackens as Wuming puts it back over her shoulder, and she jogs over to the lip of the stepwell and peers inside.
You see Amun and Nira right at the bottom, almost close to the center.
And I think as Wuming looks over, all of a sudden there's like just a little splash of water
Ah!
in her
Ew!
face.
What? Nira?
It does smell
Where-
like centuries of old.
Oh no! I didn't mean to do dirty.
What did you just do to me, Nira?
I think she might have poisoned you.
No, I think Nira's like, oh wait, I thought that was a joke. I thought that's what people did when they were playing
Usually
around.
not
Oh,
with water that's mold and algae ridden.
oh.
It's clean water, but you can't take the old out of it.
I am so sorry. And she's gonna like pat around and pull out her like gourd of water and just hands it to Wuming once they get to the top.
Wuming maybe like meets you in the middle, like starts coming down the stepwell and just.
I'm sorry. I thought I was trying to learn how to be playful.
It's okay, Nira. The thought is what counts, I guess. I'm just gonna be tasting sarcophagus for the rest of my life. Thank you. Wuming takes the flask.
On that note, there are some things I've kept from you, friend, but we're going to have to make it as obvious as possible. The ground of the stepwell, like the bottom floor, that's covered with like various green bits, right? It's hiding.
Well, it's not green. It's closer to almost like gray, like because it's really, really old and dry, and has been dry for quite a while. So it's like whatever moss and moisture plant life that was there is now basically dried out and dusty.
Okay. Can I? Let me think.
And now even drier since Nira took out whatever moisture was on the surface.
If I wanted to find what was underneath it, would it be a physical thing? Do I need to open up a trapdoor, or is it more of a locational thing?
I would say that would be investigating it, wouldn't it?
What? Investigating. That's sharp.
Or reading it. Actually, read a bad situation is probably best because it has questions that can be used to answer that.
Well, Too bad I got a 5.
Well, you can take an experience, or you could if you really want to find out, you could use your luck point.
I think I've spent enough luck for a little bit. But I will do this. I
It has a
will
5 alarm fire on your screen.
I will use magic to burn off what the gray plant matter on the floor,
Okay.
which
And
means I think I need to roll weird.
yes. You do get experience for that 5 you got, so.
That's good. That is good. That's a 10 for using magic. Right? Helpful. Super helpful. That was
Yep.
what I needed it, really.
Yeah. So, you, yeah, you get to choose your effect.
Yeah, let's choose that effect. So for use magic, the effects include inflict harm, enchant a weapon, do one thing that is beyond human limitations, bar, place a portal to a specific person, trap, banish, summon a monster into the. That's what I'll do. Seems like a great idea. Observe another place or time, heal one harm. Okay, so I think I'm going to do one thing that is beyond human limitations, and that is literally erase the bottom of the well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you use magic, which I assume is fire.
Yep. I think I put my thumbnail into my palm, and a crack forms there into the suit that I wear, and I blast out a literal torrent of fire at the ground.
Yeah. So you see Amun do this, and as the fire starts to consume everything, I feel like the both of you would step up a little to avoid being
Oh, yes,
on the ground as lava.
Yeah, Nira definitely would either step past Wooming or step with Wooming up the stairs.
We're halfway up. It's fine.
Yeah.
A little warning next time, Amon.
I'm about to shoot fire from my palms.
Are you saying
you
this
go.
while shooting fire from your
Yeah.
bombs?
Yep. And it seems like for a moment, like first of all, there's like a flash fire as all whatever plant dusty thing was there just burns off like in seconds, and then suddenly the ground becomes almost liquid, like close to lava, as it starts to liquefy, and the runes that you saw start to light up and start to almost like wait for something else to trigger.
Nira, cool down the ground, would you?
Okay. And I'm gonna do a magic.
Yes.
You may want to back up.
I don't back up.
Thank you, Nira. See, now that's a warning. And Booming backs up.
I was telling Amon actually because he's still kind of on the ground level.
I take one step up.
What is my weird? Let me find it. That's a 10.
Yeah, it works without issues. How does this manifest?
And I think instead of just doing the one little flick, she'll do like double hand flicks, like just to draw it from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that, there's a kind of like a rumble of the earth underneath the well and stuff as the well starts to fill up again.
Yeah, and you notice though that in certain places the water seems to stay at a lower level or starts to rise up, almost like forming a particular shape. It looks to be it's forming like some sort of a disc or a circle, but now you have basically lava and water, cooling it off, and it's sort of becoming, it's no longer this like red hot liquid. It's cooling and turning brown, forming a sort of a surface in the center. And it's now waiting. You see two more runes, and they're trying to, like, it's like you're waiting for them to trigger.
Drop the effect now. It's a ritual circle.
And we can't complete it on our own.
What is this place? What's the purpose of this?
Siphons are created by destroying one of us, Muming, to create an object that can wield its power. Each one of these can open up a portal when used with the right siphon. Together, when all portals are opened, well, bad things occur. This is the place where they're planning to start the end of all things. This is where the era shall come to a close.
Hold on. When you say bad things will happen, you mean like Cardane's beer breath or like apocalypse?
Possibly both. Most likely the latter.
It could be Cornine's beer breath amplified and taking over the world in some sort of... I lost my train of thought. I don't know what
Not to mention his brother could be one of us or all of us. It could be mortals. It could be ascendants. It depends upon who starts this whole mess.
That's not good. I can't... hold on. Have you seen a stag? Have either of you seen a stag?
You mean your stag? Or just
Yes.
a stag?
No, Boog. Should...
No, I haven't.
I mean, I took his tack off, so he just looks like a regular stag, but very pampered.
He would know me, right?
Yeah.
They would-
Boog gets, Boog gets along perfectly fine with you.
Damn it, he must have broken out of his stall. I don't know what's going on with him. And I followed his tracks all the way out here, and then it was like, I don't know, some sort of teleportation magic took him, or a huge bird swooped out of the sky and bore him off. But he's big. He's a stag.
He's an air creature. Could be an ascendant at work.
What? Boog's Boog. Boog's just a stag. He's not one of you. I mean, no offense.
And I'm just your friendly local librarian.
Magic hides all around you.
You have a habit of attracting elemental people, don't you?
It seems I do. And you and I both know you're not just an average librarian. And Nira, well, it's pretty obvious when we look at her that she's not, just a regular mortal.
I can do a disguise, you know this, if need be.
I do, but I mean your true form, right, is well, you. And let's not even get started on Lobster Man.
Oh, you call him Lobster Man?
Not to his face. I don't want to risk it. By it, I mean hurting his feelings. I know he has them. But Amon, what do you mean, air creature, Boog?
When I first met the thing, he had a certain energy about him. Hard to describe. Something of a kind knows another. If Wuming and I had first met, over time, she begun... not Wuming. If when Nira and I first met, had we given some more time to it, she would likely figure out what I am. We tend to know each other after a time. It's, strange.
There's a energy to us.
We're more than just...
Oh, like a gaydar.
Yeah, exactly.
A gaydar?
Okay. It's, when you can tell someone else's. Never mind, Nira. It probably doesn't apply to you.
I chuckle so hard.
The queer tension.
I think Nira looks between Wuming and Almond like she's missing out on that joke, but doesn't say anything.
Wait, if Boog is an air stag, I guess Wait. Hold on. Do you think these people, these, what do you call them, ascendants?
It depends. You'd have to attract them in some way. How old is he?
He's a young adult. I got him when he was but a deerling.
And how long has that been?
Maybe a year or two ago?
That explains it. We better get moving.
What do you mean? Is he in danger? Are they going to make him into one of these whatever things you just called them? Conduits? Sigils? What was it?
Possibly, but I'm more concerned about the fact that he's going through puberty.
Puber. That would actually explain a lot. No wonder he's been so ornery. It's not like him. He used to be so sweet. Amon, Nira, with magic, is there any way you can track Boog down? I need your help.
I mean, we can try.
You definitely can.
Anything's possible.
Can we use our combined senses of elemental stuff to get
yeah,
a vibration?
I would say
Like a Captain Planet.
Yep. I would say you can. One of you can help out, and the other can use magic.
Who's got better sharp? You or me? Because I've only got +1.
I have for sharp, let's see here. I have a -1.
It's me!
Here, let me help out first.
You roll with cool. If you're thinking about helping out.
I can? I have a +2 cool. I am a helper. That's a 10 for helping out.
Yeah.
I got a
you
9.
So I would say, with both of you helping out, you... Wonderful. I just saw DM clip the gaydar comment. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that since you're trying to sort of do your magic together and you're working together, you both are able to help each other out. And, the way I'm gonna do it is slightly different, is I'm gonna let both of you use magic and take the better roll as the actual result.
Well, I just rolled use magic to get a 9.
Oh, 9. Oh, that's what you did? Okay.
Mhm.
Never mind then. We'll just go with that. So,
Does the help mean that I get a +1?
Oh, yeah. So then it's a 10. It works without issues. You choose your effect. So, Wooming, you do take them back to the last spot that,
where the tracks end? Is the cat still there? Or
Yeah,
has it, gone?
No, the cat's still there.
Does it look like it will attack as we approach? It hasn't noticed us?
It sniffs, smells something that makes it hiss, and just sort of tracks you. It definitely sees all of you, but is not very keen on interacting with perhaps your comrades.
I whistle. I whistle sort of like a warning whistle, and I call at it. Get on out of here, kitty. We don't want to hurt you. Get. And I shoot a warning arrow, not to hurt it, but
and
just nearby.
And kind of just bounce off. Look like some sort of a lion of some kind, like a mountain, not a mountain,
Sure.
like a forest lion or something of that sort.
Sure, hungry for a meal.
Yeah. And yeah.
This is where the tracks end. See how they just terminate?
I mean, air.
It's flying.
What, like he sprouted wings and flew away?
Or just floated.
Yeah,
It
you
happens
don't need
with
wings
some
to fly when you have magic.
This is ridiculous. Where did he go? Can either of you tell?
Not really, but I could trap it, which would send it plummeting down to the earth.
No. You can't do that to Boog. He's probably scared and doesn't know what's happening. I have to be there with him. This isn't right.
All right, then we summon him.
What do you mean we summon him? Like a demon? Boog isn't a demon.
He's a creature.
An elemental creature.
Okay.
Call.
Is it going to require anything? Usually my experiences with summonings is interrupting them and saving victims from being sacrificed.
Think of it this way. You are someone who happens to like. So as long as we send your scent in the right direction, and I kind of like hold out my hands toward Nira around Wu Ming.
And so we're basically just putting Wu Ming in the middle. Question: which way is Wu Ming facing?
Let's amp up the gay tension and say toward Nira.
Oh no! And they're both like tall women, so like they're just facing each other. And yeah, I think
I dig
Nira...
this queer sandwich.
I think
thruple.
The thruple.
The power thruple.
Oh God.
oh jeez. Yeah, so I think Nira takes Amon's hands and steps in, and then realizes how close she is to Wu Ming, and sort of just like, because I think Wu Ming's like got a couple inches on her, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say it. Yeah.
Deji said she's like what, 6 something or so.
Yeah. Why not? Let's do it.
Okay, and she's just gonna like, it just sort of like is looking up at her, but like also just trying to like keep her calm. So there's just these big yellow eyes, just like okay, focus.
It's hilarious that this ancient fire elemental is shorter than both of these women.
How tall is Amon?
Only about 5'10".
Oh wow, only 5'10". We're a tall party.
It's a tall
This is-
thruple.
It's true tabletop wish fulfillment because I'm like 5'2", 5'2 and 3/4.
I'm 5'1", I understand.
And 6 foot.
Oh my god, that's so funny. How tall is our keeper?
I'm 5'5".
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That makes
Well,
sense.
I'm taller than everyone. Okay, so
Back to this tracking spell / sandwich.
so the effect that I'm going for is summon a monster into the world, but
Yeah,
this isn't a monster.
I'm gonna roll with it and say that you're basically trying to summon Boog to this spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so please describe like what sort of like how you are essentially using your magic as you bring Boog here.
Well, when heated up, the human body has a tendency to release more pheromones out through their sweat. So it's getting steamy, and I'm assuming that because sweat is technically kind of water-based, Nira can send it even farther.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all said queer attention. You're welcome.
Oh my god.
So you're basically boosting Wu Ming's pheromones to
Pheromones.
get Boog to basically come here instead, wherever Boog is.
Do we have to be so close? Is this necessary? This doesn't
Yes.
feel like magic.
I could get a bit closer if you'd like.
No, I'm okay, Amon. This is good.
You sure Nira could get closer?
I mean...
I tug Nira a 1 inch closer.
And I think it's like one of those like, oh, okay.
Yep.
And
And we're like
as-
chest to chest.
Yeah.
Yep, and as the heat and the water and everything, you see sort of vapors start to, with the magic glow, start to rise above you and start to swirl just above you. And suddenly you see almost like, those tunnel portals, sort of like a magic tunnel. And you see Boog, basically you get a glimpse of a scene where Boog's somewhere else. You're not quite sure where in the city, but is escaping what looks to be two robed figures, and then just kind of looks at the tunnel and just gives a big moo, because I actually researched what it sounds like a moo. I actually heard what the howling or whatever the word is, gives this gigantic moo and just flies right through the portal and is about to crash land on top of you, but because you rolled really well, kind of manages to skitter and land right next to all three of you, and just snorts and skitters and scatters everything. And there's like a whole, it looks like there's been ropes that were trying to be attached to kind of bring to ground Boog that were unsuccessful because for whatever reason Boog was slippery.
Boog! Wooming runs forward directly into Nira. I think to try to get to Boog because we're so close. And maybe there's a moment where we like fall over, like all three of us. Like we fall down into a pile.
Oh.
I will spend a luck point to make this happen. I will do it.
Spend it.
Put it on the board, Mariam.
Oh my gosh.
All
You'll
right.
spend a luck point for this. Okay.
Well,
What
we
else
have
would I spend
priorities.
it on? Exactly.
There you go. Your first luck point.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nira was not prepared, so she's on the earth.
Is it like a Lion King moment? Like poof. And like
And for that, you will find out later what trigger. I mean, you know what it triggers, but you will find out the actual consequences of triggering that later.
yes. Okay. Maybe there's like a beat where we're all on the ground and Wooming's like, oh, sorry, Nira. Excuse me, I'm on.
Yeah. What did you? How?
And at this point, you all three of you get the biggest, sloppiest lick from a stag.
Oh, Pookie boy, you must have missed me, huh? You must have been scared. Here, I have sugar cubes. Here.
Could you please get off me before you give him a sugar cube?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. And Wooming gets up, like hands up, you know, like I'm innocent here, and like gets up away from Nira. Is the portal still open?
Nope. As soon as Boog went through and landed, it just stopped. And you kind of see, like, the only thing you see as the mages is just sort of like, you see a woman and her face, but that's it before the portal kind of closes. And that woman's face, she has like a gaunt face. And like Raj, specifically for Aman and Nira, had like these dark mirror glasses.
Another defiler. Wonderful.
I mean, if it's the Ascendants that are doing this, then of course they would be.
It takes 5 elements to open up that thing because you're breaking the jewel, right? So you have each and every single one of the natural elements, disregarding space, and then you have, well, defiling magic. It's how you connect 4 things that don't want to be together, and then you use that. Let's start the end.
Real quick, Almond,
Mhm.
before you keep explaining, can you please get off me?
Right. I get up and extend a hand down.
And Nira will take it and get up.
There's a little
So
steam
how-
that's just billows off like flash steam as your hands connect.
Wooming's eyes linger on the connection for just a beat. Looks between Amon and Nira and says, anyway, so how, what do we do? How can we stop it? How do we stop them?
Oh, I have no idea.
But you have no idea, Amon? You know everything.
I'm old, not omniscient.
My only
the way
suggestion
you
would be
act.
destroy them. So
It's an option. We could destroy all of the Ascendants, but that still wouldn't stop other people from trying to do the exact same thing.
this is true.
Maybe the agency knows more. I could try to talk to
Rakshas?
my boss. Yeah. I mean,
They're very capable people. I'm sure they could help.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
This
No,
may
I'm
be out
just
of their
being
wheelhouse.
extremely sarcastic.
Oh. I think this is out of their wheelhouse. I don't know what the
Ro-
agency does, but I think this is out of their wheelhouse.
They specifically were made to prevent cataclysms like this from happening. Sure, am I the most competent agent they have? Maybe. Is everyone else around me a dunce? Perhaps. But for some reason, they keep getting money every year. If they don't have the personnel, they at least have the resources. They might have files, information.
You realize half the time they come up a question they don't understand, they call me, right?
I know, you're one of the informations I was referring to.
Well, I'm afraid in this case, the only way that I've done it over the past several long time is stopping a single smaller ritual or two. The breaking of an elemental like Book here, and I just tapped the thing on its hindquarters into a siphon, or destroying a siphon myself, or well, the weaker ones. The older ones can't be.
But that's like cutting heads off of a hydra. It's just gonna regrow. We can try to take them down sector by sector, but the heart is still intact. We have to figure out who's behind all of this. Stop it. Root it out.
There's multiple heads to this to begin with. It's not just the Ascendants. Elementals like Nira are more than happy to cause the apocalypse as well. Not to mention that little man and his brother. Notice that Kahaaniyaan is not little.
Hold on. What do you
I
mean?
got the irony.
What do you mean, brother? Who are you talking about?
Oh, he has a brother.
Carnane?
Yes.
Like a demon brother?
Yes.
Is he evil?
Where is Garnane?
Also, where is Carnane? And
He ran
Heidi.
off. Heidi's... Actually, that is a good question.
I think Haiti went off to Tim something.
Oh, right. The child. That makes sense. It's probably good that Haiti isn't here. Tim needs at least one parental figure, I guess.
You consider yourself a parental figure?
I consider myself a mercenary first, and everything else second.
I mean, being a parental figure has certain responsibility. I think I'm saying this directly to Boog's face, not to, not to Wuming's face, while scratching one of the chin. It has
Yep.
certain responsibilities.
I'm aware. Haiti and I, it doesn't matter. Our relationship has nothing to do with this situation whatsoever. Amon, look, you're the smartest, most capable guy I know. Do you have any idea who could be behind any of this? I mean, it sounds like you've been trying to take care of this mystery for a long time yourself. Surely you've got some leads.
I do know that amongst the many bad groups that are trying to start this, the Ascendants are probably the most voracious and the closest.
And you don't know
It's
who their
probably
leaders are?
Let me think. Give me a second. So, I feel like something bad is about to happen somewhere I'm not. And I would like to roll with hunches.
Yes, you may.
Oh, boy. Well, with sharp, that's a 6. So, roll plus sharp, you get there just in time to be in trouble yourself.
So, you think, considering that they were going after Boog and you saw these mages that were capable of flight of some kind, that maybe checking out some of the local temples that venerate or worship uh, air, like divinity of the air or wind temples or something of that sort, might be the place to look, especially since they were trying to grab Boog.
Where is the nearest air temple? He hesitates to ask.
It is definitely near, closer to the northern end of the city, where it is closer to foothills and therefore closer to the sky and the wind. And it's sort of like there's this one temple you know of that is not as well known, that probably is better for hiding out. That is in this little gully uh, in in between two foothills, where it was there to basically catch all that wind tunnel air, and it has bells and all of these things, but it was deserted several decades ago because it's no longer, like, everything moved closer to the city as people abandoned some of the more out of remote locations. So you think that's probably a good place to check out.
There's a temple on the bottom of the Singing Foothills. Probably the best place to go to.
Great. Let's go in. Maybe we can interrogate one of them. See if they know anything.
Oh yes, I'm sure that'll go off well.
You have any better ideas?
No, honestly, I don't. Let's go.
And Boog sort of is starting to levitate a little bit when hearing "Let's go."
Boogie boy, calm down. Maybe it won't be a good idea to put you back into the belly of the beast, so to speak. You might be safer if you sit this one out, boy.
And just sort of antlers down, a little sad.
I'm sorry. It's for your own good. I'll give you all the sweetest grasses when we come home tonight. Okay,
Not to
promise.
be that person, but the last time you two were separated, this one got captured.
Well, I don't want. What if they try to attack him again? I don't want him to get
This
Well,
time we'll
imperiled.
have us to
And-
protect
Stop
him.
them.
And Boog's kind of sticks the chest out, and you start to see there's like growing mane, like a mane, and the coat has gotten more kind of lush. It kind of happened almost like you're pretty sure that mane didn't exist several hours ago. It's like it suddenly sprouted.
Yes, we get it. You're a growing boy.
And I think Nier's gonna pat him right on the chest area.
And just kind of just whinnies and like a happy whinny sort of a thing.
All right, fine. You can come along, Boog, but you have to lay low. Literally. Don't leave the ground.
And
Unless I
kinda,
tell you to.
and kind of while levitating, does the sitting down position.
Oh my god.
Hooves, ground. End of discussion.
Sort of looks at Wuming, looks at Amun, looks at Wuming, looks at Amun.
You heard him.
And just the 1 inch of levitation just goes away.
There we go. Good boy.
All right. Let's crack some defiler skulls.
All
Put
right.
it on the plus side. At least he's not looking for a mate.
What? Stop it, Amon. That's gross.
Should we cut it there?
And with that, let's take a quick break. We will be right back
Good.
in about 5 minutes, everyone. All right. Go hydrate, stretch, do all the things. We'll be back. Hello, welcome back to Kahaaniyaan. Hope you had a lovely little break. You did the stretches, drank the things, and yeah, we ended on a very interesting note where I believe Amun was glad that Boog is not looking for a mate. um, okay. With that, how are you doing any preparations or are you doing anything before we cut to the temple that in the Singing Hills, or are you just getting there without any sort of backup? Well, no, that sounds like I'm trying to get you. Are you just making haste for the location?
Well, we're gonna ride there late anyway, so we might as well do something.
That's true. I think Wu Ming would check in with the agency anyway, just to see if like she can get like some cool weapons or gear or like any information about this temple, like anything about its history or about its like the monks or whoever, like the priests are in charge of like running it, like anything about them at all and their relationships with the rest of the community, etc.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Does Nira or Amun join? I mean, Amun already has some sort of a relationship with the Rakshuks and the agents, like the agency, which is known as the Rakshuks. But Nira, do you join as well?
Question. If I do join, do you make me put on my disguise?
Maybe, probably.
I was asking women because,
Oh.
would they want this? Showing up like, hey, friends.
Who wouldn't want that, huh? Some people just don't know what's good for them.
All right.
So I do have a move for this. Should I trigger it?
Sure.
When you deal with the agency?
Yes, however, using that luck point does trigger a special. So I'm going to say for this particular one, you can maybe use it to deal with the consequences, but you got to go through them first.
Okay, sounds good.
And because you've already done it a couple of times, Nero, you can roll if you would like to, but I'm just going to say you can do it.
I'm just going to do it.
Okay. So, everyone's human, everyone's mortal, everyone looks like they are supposed to look, nothing magical about any of this at all. You arrive at the agency and you see your wonderful co-workers, Karina and Seth, both milling around and look at all three of you and say, "Oh, Wuming, so Snow really needed to speak to you and was looking for you, and Snow looks pretty upset. You better go."
Really?
Yeah, you should go deal with that.
All right. Good. Then show my friends here some hospitality while I go take care of that. Sorry, Nira, Aman. I have to do this.
Of course.
And Karina and Sapphire's like, "Oh, wonderful. Would you like some water, some chai, some drink, something? Like, would you would you like some biscuits? Would you like a
Would you have
biscuit?"
better things to do?
Yeah, but to be honest, we don't really want to clean up the stall.
I look at them. I give them that look that they've seen from me before.
Yes.
I'm like, come on.
Why do we always have to clean up Wuming's mistakes? And just mutters and walks off. This is out of earshot of you. You've already headed towards Snow.
Okay.
And they wander off, and Wuming, you enter the office, and Snow is... You can definitely feel the simmering rage, and they're just barely keeping calm.
Okay, I guess they'll let me know why they're angry. I say, as always, you want the door open or closed?
It depends on whether you want me to address this publicly.
I'm not sure I follow what this is about, Snow.
Let's see. Pulls out reports and sort of smacks it in front of you, like so you can see, and it spills out, and says, and this is just in the last 24 hours. I thought you said you had a handle on this. And as you quickly glance, you see various reports that are coming from various different it seems like eyewitness reports, essentially, where people have taken down notes and compiled it. And it says old library combusted with some sort of infestation of monsters, unidentified monsters, then sights of a flying stag over the city, and a fire at the Morny that was put out. It looked like some elementals gone wild, and one person missing, a client, and various patrons having moments where they can't remember a single thing.
Respectfully, Snow, a lot of this is beyond my purview. I had one request from you to investigate the town with the dying water, and I've carried out the rest of my investigations to the best of my ability, but a lot of this isn't... Well, I wasn't looking into it.
You do realize the only reason you still have a job here is because I vouched for you, especially after that mission. And we're talking about the unnamed, like out of game, the unnamed mission in which you were the lone survivor.
Right, where all my friends died.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a different situation, Snow. Look, this is a lot bigger than what I originally thought it was. It's part of the reason why I'm here, actually. I need help. I can't do this alone. This conspiracy is greater than just me. It's greater than our agency.
Well, I gave you our 2 best agents, and that is all I can give you. Which, by the way, you never use them.
Respectfully...
They are the best at disassembling information. They passed their combat training. Okay, maybe Seth is not that great with a bow, but that's okay. He'll learn with time. But oh wait, but they'll, going out in the field. But oh wait, they sit here all day because my agent does not use their services.
Because they're not ready. I can't... If I take them into the field...
No one's ever ready. You weren't ready when you went on that mission. You're still standing here.
Well, maybe if I were more ready, all of my squad mates wouldn't be dead. I can't be responsible for another death, Snow.
The eyes just soften just a little and say, well, unfortunately, I can't keep saving you as much as I want to. My higher-ups are looking for any excuse to retire you.
What is this? Am I fired?
Think of this as your last chance. You have whatever this department can offer in terms of the archives, and you have those 2 agents. That's all you're getting. If you can somehow turn this mess all around, perhaps they won't retire you. Look, they've already bought you, those watches that they give.
I don't want a goddamn... Your bosses are telling me to build a house with nothing but a hammer and a handful of loose screws. I'm good, but I'm not a goddamn miracle worker.
Well,
I'm sorry,
those 2 planks outside could definitely use... And points in the general direction of where Karina and Seth's office space might be. Get
Fine.
hammering! You're dismissed.
Wuming turns around and strides out of the door that she did not close.
Yep.
And into the hallway.
So Karina and Seth didn't hear it all, but Aman and Nira definitely did.
Well, that's going well.
I don't think Nira really knows how to respond, actually. She's just like, oh.
While we're waiting, is there any question you have to ask me? Considering, well, everything.
Considering everything?
Well, considering the fact that you're working for a group of elementals who care not a whit for mortals, and will probably usher in the new era by themselves should we defeat the Ascendants. And at this point, Amun just crosses his legs, picks up like some cheap 3-year-old magazine from the side table, and starts flipping through it. Really casual.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of a travel magazine, but a focus on street food. And it says A Das.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what is there to ask? I'm just... Times change and things need to happen.
What things need to happen exactly?
And I think Nira... Excuse me. And I think Nira sort of looks down at her hands and is quiet for a minute because she's trying to, she knows the mission, but she also wasn't giving exact details of how the mission would happen. And I think she just sort of looks over to the door area, or the area that Wuming walked off to. I don't think we actually see the door. And but we hear everything coming down. And she looks, just staring in that direction, just still talking to Amun. And is like, I don't know. They never given me a plan of things.
Of course not. When you're being used, why be enlightened?
And I think she just sort of she's quiet and she keeps staring off in that area, and then eventually just sort of looks over to him, and he's like, "Oh, what else am I to do? It is my fate."
You saw what I did. Did I just settle with fate?
You did not.
So what is your excuse, I wonder?
Opportunity? It just hasn't come yet.
I didn't wait for opportunity. The cost of these things is probably higher than you want to admit, especially considering you're in love with a mortal. I don't judge you. I was too. After everything, actually. Very strong, very kind man. But that was about 100 years after I'd already broken fate. So I'm wondering if this is the opportunity you need to realize that should you let things come to pass, people like Nira will be the ones squashed under the heel of people like, well, me. Just not me.
First off, when you said that Nira was in love with Wuming, Nira sort of like gets a
Wuming,
little
right.
taken aback. Just like,
Wuming-
oh, is that what love is? Oh, okay. And then so she sort of just like sits back and like, you know, her face has a confused look to it. And then you keep talking, and eventually her eyes just sort of drop to her hands. And
They really will make chutney out of everything, won't they?
And you see that there's a section where they've taken essentially what is already a chutney and making a chutney out of chutney.
It's a bit excessive to me.
oh, chutney. I remember this. It is the mashed pea. No, hold on.
Mira,
Yes.
don't fall for a distraction when you're about to open up your heart. And I turn the page again. There's one thing we could all learn from mortals. I did. That distance is not healthy. So many of us have separated from ourselves. We forget our hearts. Mistake.
I'm still learning what I never had these feelings or emotions back home. So stepping on land, being a part of this world, not only opened my eyes to chutney or biscuit or gaydar, it's also opened me up to emotions and feelings and perceptions and ideas that I never had any consciousness of before. And
You're kind of a little bit more distant than mine, I'll admit that. We're very tempestuous people. That doesn't change that is learned behavior. You're not getting in touch with it. You're relearning things you should have learned as a child. Great capability. People like you and I. And we've excused our penchants not to act instead of just waiting for some new era to occur by growing distant from mortals, from each other. But that is not our natural state. So are you going to kiss her, or are you just going to wait around, staring at me read about chutney?
I feel like this is a good point at which you're dismissed and you hear the "you are dismissed" and Wuming coming out.
I think Nero's gonna be like, just like about to do a rebuttal, and then hears Wuming come out, and she sort of just sits back, and grabs a random magazine like off the table. Doesn't even know what it is. Just like make sure it's right side up, and then flips through it.
I'm sorry the two of you had to hear that. Nero, why are you looking at a bikini magazine?
That's mine. I just grab it.
Amon, please, Nira is... Don't be a bad influence.
Oh, I can't help it. Too hot to handle. You know what? I think I will have a cup of that chai. I should go talk to Karina or say, excuse me for a second. And I just pat Nira on the shoulder as I walk out.
Oh, well, get Karina to make you the chai. The other one makes it real bad. It's nasty.
Not actually getting chai.
I think Nira sort of just looks at Almond as he's leaving. Like, wait, where are you going? Don't leave me.
Emotion time.
King panic time.
And I think Nira's going to stand and she's like, and look at Wuming and be like, Hold on, I need the words. Give me a second. So she stands and she sort of like straightens out her curtsy and like adjusts her scarf, and she's like, I recognize that I and she's still struggling for the words. Like, she's just trying to be supportive, but also doesn't know exactly how to put words into a sentence right now because she's alone. And she like inhales. She's like, I'm sorry that you've lost people before. That seems like it's a lot.
Yeah, sorry you had to find out that way. I wasn't expecting to air my dirty laundry today to the entire hallway, I guess. Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but well, there's nothing I can do to change it.
And I think with that, Nira's gonna, I guess, gently put a hand on Wiming's shoulder, like just like right here, and step a bit closer and be like, we will always have your back. I will always have your back.
Nira, I thank you.
Of course. And I think the hand just sort of stays there, and Nira's just sort of like gives Wuming a soft smile, and then realizes it's been there a little too long, and just removes her hand. It's just like
as you remove your hand, Wuming actually goes, "Wait," and like grabs your wrist. I need to tell you something. I'm sorry. I feel like I've treated you poorly in the past. Called you a thing, monster, freak, elemental. It's just sort of my line of work coming out, and I don't think I've given you a fair chance, like I give mortals.
All those things. You weren't wrong. I'm not of this world, as people would say.
Maybe,
part of it, but I'm not a part of it.
You're right, Nira. But I guess what I mean to say is, I used to think that was a bad thing. To anything that wasn't of this world, I thought wanted to hurt it, or even if they didn't, one day they would, or someone else would use them to hurt this world, like people do. But now I see that that's not the case. You're an elemental and you do things to help other people. You are compassionate and kind and care about your friends, and you're smart and you're funny. You're not who I thought you were, and I apologize for making assumptions about you and acting on them.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, assumptions and perceived notions are what everybody does, unfortunately. And I hold no qualms about that.
Right, but I don't want to be just everybody to you, I guess. I want to I guess we're friends?
I like friends.
Yeah, friends. And Wuming like drops your hand at that.
And at this point, Karina wanders in and says, "Oh, where's your other friend?
Drinking
right
chai?
here.
Oh.
I literally turned the corner and just waited.
Oh, you sneaky.
So sneaky. Matchmaker.
So,
I decided I wasn't in the mood for chai.
what did the boss say? You're muted.
Pack your bags, Karina. You and the other kid. We're going on a mission.
And there's like literally like anime stars in the eyes, sort of like, we finally get to go on a mission, and just almost bounces away to Seth, get your bags back, like really loudly.
I hope I don't regret this.
They need to learn somehow.
Yeah, they do. I just hope I'm a good enough teacher to protect them while they're learning.
You're not alone protecting them. They may not be my responsibility, but I'm there with you.
We had better get going. We've already delayed enough.
You're right, Amon. Let's go.
So did
And-
you...
Go ahead.
No. Just let's cut off there.
No.
No. Say what you're gonna say.
Did you talk over your emotions, Mira?
I think we did.
So that's a no.
What do you mean? Is there something you want to... Did I do something wrong, Nira?
No, of course not. Nothing you did wrong. And she sort of like looks at Almond and is like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
The most like mumbling, barely audible voice ever. You people are so oblivious. It's almost painful.
What are you talking about, Amon? Speak up.
All right, fine.
If-
You want
if that's-
this?
Oh, she's in her
I turn
mortal slow
around.
motion. She's blushing. It's bad. I was like, fish don't blush. I was like, oh no, this one does. She's in her mortal form.
I turn around. I pull Nira to face Wuming. I pull Wuming to face Nira, and I say, "You are both very interested in each other romantically." And then I tap them both on the shoulders and just walk out of the room.
Can I act under pressure?
Yes.
Can I also do this? Because like,
Yep.
Are we both acting under pressure
Yes.
to keep our
Yes.
cool?
Yes.
Okay, I got a 9. Mixed success.
All right, and Nira.
I also got a 9.
Okay. So you can either have an honest conversation right here and now, just hash it out, or you can basically have an outburst that gets completely misinterpreted.
Can it just be because? What are you thinking, Nira?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like outbursts just because.
Yeah, that's more dramatic.
And also, you have to that thing. You have witnesses at a really inopportune moment.
Okay, which one of us is outbursting? Do we roll for it?
You
Oh.
both had mixed success, so it can be either or both.
So I think to start it off, I think Nira's gonna like start sputtering, and she's gonna be like, Ahmed, what are you doing? What like just like tripping over her words, like.
Is this? I mean, Nira, is this true? Do you have feelings for me? I mean, I don't know if I mean, what are feelings? It's just neurons firing off in your brain, right? It's fake, right? That's not. I mean, it's not. I don't think I'm interested in. I mean, not that there's nothing to be interested about. I mean, you have a nice face. It's not. This isn't. Your face is nice.
You mean the one that I currently have on, or my real face? Because
both, right?
Oh.
I mean, one is blue and looks, like fishy. Not that you're fishy or smell bad, because fish smell bad. You don't smell bad. I need to make that clear.
Bad?
Well, I mean, at the market when they're dead, and I go shopping, and not that. I don't eat fish because you're a fish, right? That would weird you out.
I eat fish because they're from the ocean.
Me too. I love fish. I love eating fish. I love how they taste. And
at this point, Snow walks out, looks at what's happening, and says, "May I remind you, Wu-Ming, that we don't allow personal visitors over here." And then walks off.
isn't. No, Snow, this isn't a personal visitor. I don't even know her. I don't even like her. She's nothing. She's ugly. She's
I think with that, I think Nira's just too upset, like, at this point, because she don't know, and she's just gonna, like, give Wu-Ming a look, because she just found, like, they were just agreed that they're friends, and now saying that to Snow sort of just, like, gives Wu-Ming a look and just sort of, like, gets annoyed and, like, just has, like, a little, like, face and just turns around and leaves.
Nira, wait, I didn't. Fuck you, Amon. Wu-Ming runs after Nira.
And I think with that, we're gonna end tonight, and we will hopefully our guest might join us for our next episode. We'll have a conversation off screen. If not, we'll work something out. Let's get into our player introductions. Please tell us who you are and where we can find you. Let's go in the opposite directions. So let's start with our fish eating / connoisseur.
Oh my god. Okay. Hi, I'm Connie, pronounced the he, she. I play Wu-Ming, the flustered professional, who might not be a professional if this quest goes bad. We'll see. Who is trying to figure out her feelings for Nira, because this is the first time she's allowed herself to feel in so long, so who knows. But I am not playing in Kahaaniyaan every other Sunday here on Huetopia TV, this amazing streaming channel. You can find me as the GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG, which is an all transgender, people of color led 100% homebrewed Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live streamed actual play campaign set in an original non-colonial anti-orientalist world. We stream Saturdays at 3 p.m. US Central Time on Twitch, including this coming Saturday. Our party is split up. They are all going through emotional trauma. It's great. They're meeting up with exes and exiled sisters, etc. It's a good time. So tune in this coming Saturday, May 29th at 3 p.m. US Central Time on twitch.tv/TransplanarRPG and drop us a follow on the Twitters, TransplanarRPG as well. And with that, I will back pass it to Nordin Ali.
Hello, my name is Nordin Ali. I have no relationship with fish. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me online at Werewolf Feels, and apparently I'm the shit disturber today. So if you want more of that, you can find me tomorrow on Gehenna Gaming's channel, where I play a ghost named Neil, who has a secret and now has a romantic love interest. It's so sweet. Obviously, that's going to go to shit because it's Monster Hearts. So you definitely want to check that out. See you there. And I suppose at this point, it now goes to the fish in question.
How dare you? Hi.
I'm sorry.
Hello, I'm Morgan. They, she pronouns. I just played the elemental who has no idea what emotions are and feelings and trying to figure everything out, and is guided by another elemental. This is great. This is fine. Everything's fine. Her name's Nira. You can find me mostly here on Huetopia. I do Game at a Glance, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, I think. I don't know time zones too well. I'm trying to look at my calendar. It's far away. And then I am not doing anything else lately. Roots Unknowns is going to be June 2nd, that finale for that Monster of the Week game. Apocalypse Keys ended last Wednesday, so I'm done with that. Donut Duels, we are still doing it. It's still a thing. Just art takes time. So it's getting worked on. But other than that, I had a blast today. It was fantastic. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
And I am the keeper of this queer disaster awesome show. You can find me on the internet, specifically Twitter, internet, at media_junkie. When I'm not here, I'm lurking in this channel in some shape or form, as a producer or whatever. I write for stuff like Thirsty Sword Lesbians and Lost Omens, Monkey Expanse, both of which are coming out in summer. And also, I am the creator of Kahaaniyaan. No, not Kahaaniyaan. The Musafirs, which is coming out soon, very soon. Life happens. Art takes time. With season 2, which of course one of the cast members is right here as our guest. New cast members. It has already been announced, so it's not a secret. But yeah, for all of this stuff, you can check out my Twitter. And also, just a big shout out to our artist who did our characters that you can see on the screen. Ashwarya is amazing. Please go follow her. She is awesome. And with that, we are going to go to our end screen pretty soon. But if you can just stick around a little longer, we're going to be rating queue times. Please go give them some love as they are playing Power Play Origins. I'm not quite sure, but the wonderful B and many other wonderful people are on it. So yeah, and join us in 2 weeks or tomorrow for Game at a Glance. All right, love you all, and have a wonderful weekend.